Hi everyone, my name is Mize, and today I am coming out as asexual. All right. um, for those of you that do not know, asexual means that I am not attracted to, or sexually attracted to anyone. Not attracted, sexually attracted to anyone. Um, so I guess in this video, I kind of just wanted to talk about kind of my journey to realizing that and coming to terms with that, as well as a little bit more details into that kind of part of the spectrum, part of the LGBTQs plus spectrum. Um, so yeah, I am asexual. I do not experience sexual attraction. So, um, this started about junior year of high school, I think it was. I remember I was talking with a few friends, and it like literally just like slipped out. I was like, I think I might be asexual, and I think it was just like very casual. Like I think they realized it was casual, and so they were just like, okay, and like we just talked about it like very casually, and that was pretty much it. And after that, that's pretty much what started like the role. Like that's really what I just kept going and going on the internet. Like, just kept looking up stuff about what it means to be asexual, like what it means to not be sexually attracted to someone. Because, I mean, I realized I'm like, I don't experience a lot of those same things that other people experience. Like, when other people look at someone else and they just get that zing, I guess is what it is. I don't get that. I never did. Um, and so, like, I realized that that is something that maybe I should look into. So I started looking into it. And for years and years and years, I kept looking into it. Sophomore year in college, I also had another conversation with a completely separate group of friends about it. And they were saying, they're like, that could be something to look into. Definitely something worthwhile to check into. And so I just continued to look more into it. I think I always felt scared. I think that's something shared in the LGBTQ community. That initial like acceptance of like that label, I guess is what you would call it. It's hard to say that I'm trying to accept a label, but because that label comes with a lot of baggage, and a lot of times it not only comes with a lot of baggage, but it comes with a lot of negative feelings from bigotry in the community, and so you don't want to take that on, but you also want to feel included, and you want to feel like you're a part of something, and you want to feel like you know yourself in some way. And so that's where I was trying to figure out who I was, trying to figure out like, hey, I know I don't feel the same way that other people do about other people, but why and how and what is this? And so this past year it's been COVID. It's been a lot of time alone in our thoughts, and a lot of us have spent a lot of time alone in our thoughts. And so I've just spent, I really took a deeper dive than I think I've ever had into this kind of asexuality spectrum. And I think the last place that I sent myself, that really sealed the deal for me, which was of all places, was Reddit, which I'm sure a lot of you are like, oh, Reddit, are you sure? And yes, Reddit. If you look up the asexuality subreddit, it is a fantastic place. I love that place. I still do. I spend a lot of time there. And if you look at the resources there, fantastic. I still send, like, if anyone has any questions, I still send people there. It answered a lot of my questions, and honestly, it's where I realized that I was for sure asexual. It was one of those things that they kind of went down the list, and they were like, have you thought these things? Have you went down these things? And I'm like, yeah, I have. I have for sure thought these things. And so, yeah, that was kind of where it finalized this past year. I think in August I came out to my parents. Just recently I came out to a lot of my close friends. And being that it's Ace Week, I feel like it's as good a time as ever to come out to you all. Obviously, not everyone is required or obligated to come out. I think that's the beautiful part about sexuality and the LGBTQ plus spectrum, is that no one should feel obligated to come out. I just feel deep inside of me that I should. And this is a good week as any to come out. just because I think that of all of the LGBTQ plus spectrum identities, there's very little understanding about what asexuality is. I mean, I spent like 6 years trying to figure it out, and even still I have questions. So totally understand. There's just a lot of confusion, a lot of questions about it, and so this is, I think, me coming out gives yet another person a chance to give a platform for asexuality. And I'm not popular by any means. I'm just like another person, but just another person spreading what asexuality is. And hey, now you know someone who's asexual. That's cool. So yeah, a little bit more about asexuality now that you've made it this far. So I am asexual. I do not experience sexual attraction. If you want to know more about what that is, I encourage you to private message me. Please make it a private message, and I will answer anything about that. But being that asexuality is its own little spectrum, it also means some other things. Of course, if I don't experience sexual attraction, what does that mean in terms of relationships? A very viable question. And that is where the romantic spectrum comes in. And this is something I think everyone should be comfortable understanding. Some asexuals fall on the aromantic side, where not only do they not experience sexual attraction, they also don't experience romantic attraction. That is not where I fall, but that is something that I think people should be comfortable with. In terms of myself, I would consider myself to be pan-romantic, which means that I would consider myself to be romantically attracted to anyone, regardless of gender. Gender is not really of importance to me in terms of finding a romantic partner. I mean, you just think about it. I'm not interested in sex, so obviously that wouldn't play a role in it. So of course that's where I'm at. But yeah, also just like in terms of romantic attraction, like if I'm looking at someone, I'm here for an emotional relationship. So I feel that I can get that from anyone. And so that's where romantic attraction comes in. But you can fall just like kind of on your, for lack of a better word, standard LGBTQ or LGB spectrum. It kind of falls on the same romantic side of the spectrum, where you've kind of got your hetero-romantic, your homo-romantic, your pan and bi-romantic. Those are separate things, but you know what I mean. And so those all kind of come together, and the aromantic as well. But there's also just an even wider spectrum outside of those things. So I encourage you to look through those things. Reddit, again, that place is a great place, but also just look through those things if you're curious. So yeah, that's about me. That's pretty much everything I got. I'm asexual. I wanted to come to you all in a space of vulnerability, and I come to you with that, and I ask of you all just kind of to come to me in a space of open-mindedness and adaptiveness. Really just kind of be adaptive, and to just be open-minded about these. If you're friends with me, to be open-minded about these changes, to be understanding. I know that this is a tough thing. I know this is a tough thing. I've had to try to figure it out for 6 years, so I totally get it. So I just ask that you try to be as understanding as possible, and try to be as respectful as possible. But thank you. Lots of love to you all, and lots of love to the LGBTQ plus community and the asexual community.